rest of the raid. All you're going to do is once we zone in, you're going to activate it, and then you're going to go to the lost cache. Okay. Yeah, you just want redundancy so we can do quick zone in and outs. That's all. You're only ever using one essence per entry. Unless you're doing something jank. Okay, pop your Pure Essence, pop your Re-Razor, pop 2 Duty Actions. This is everything that you can carry that will not count against your holster weight. Then go down to the Lost Finds cache. Pick up the stuff that you are going to carry through the rest of the raid. This is what your loadout is. What you are popping now is your pre-pop holster. Then go down to the Lost Cache and grab your holster. You should have popped a Pure Essence, a Re-Razor, and a 2 Duty Actions. Then you go down to the Lost Finds cache and activate and pick up everything else. Where the hell are you, Audrus? I know you're running tank, therefore I know you're running. Perfect. You can't show off your BR and not have me mimic you. I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. Look, we love mimic leeches. It keeps market board prices low. Look, we love mimic leeches. It keeps, I'm sorry, but have you met my friend Max board prices low? He controls the market. Once everyone in your party has stepped away from the lost cache, check your party. Hover over the icons in the party list. Make sure everyone has a Pure Essence. Pure Essences are Indomitable, Divine, Duelist, Fiend Hunter, Elder. Pure Essences are Indomitable, Divine, Duelist, Fiend Hunter, Elder. And make sure everyone in your party has a Re-Razor. Then, once you have done so, get a ready check to see if your party is ready. Alpha ready, Charlie ready, Echo ready, Delta ready, Foxtrot ready. We are just waiting on Bravo to be ready. Look, we love mimic leeches. I'm sorry, but have you met my friend Max Piggy? Low. One guy said he'll hop down when he's back. Who is this one guy? Look, we love mimic leeches. Sure. I'm sorry. Okay then, but have you met my friend down to the left, D, E, F down to the right. I assume someone over on Golem's side will be leading. This one guy. If you do not have someone step up, please give me a shout. I will explain Golems when I am done explaining slimes, but I believe we have enough talent upon the raid that we will figure it out. If you are in Golems, you can drop down one voice call. That is Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. You can drop down one voice call where someone will lead you through Golems. Okay. If you are still up here, you are on Slime's side. I need one tank, one healer, one DPS.
Fronts stay, backs change. So Die, you're on the white. Void, you are red. Autumn, you are green. And wasn't someone just there? Oh, Lucas was there. If all tanks know what they are doing... Hey, what happened to our red? Void, do you know, are you good there? Oh. Wait, what? You switched? I mean, it doesn't really matter, we need someone to... Lucas, you are the blue golem. If all of our tanks know what they're doing and need zero explanation, give me a...
I see 4 people on Alpha. Is there a DPS on Alpha already? If you can please jump. Need 1 DPS on Alpha. Perfect. People on 1 and 2, spread loosely so I can find out where I need to be at. Okay, I am down 2. Perfect. This is Slime Side. In Raid Chat 1, you will find a cheat sheet on how to do slimes, but I will be explaining it to you. The positions that you are standing at right now are the positions you will be at in the next area. When we open the doors and go into the next zone, you will go roughly to these positions relative to each other. A goes to the northwest room, B to the northeast room, C to the southeast room, D to the southwest room. 1 goes to the north hallway door, and 2 to the south hallway door. Tanks, when you get to your room before you enter, pop invuln. There might be a trap in your room, and you're going to go over the green pad and touch the wall. If you pop your trap, your invuln will keep you safe. After you've touched the wall, you can stand at the back side of the green pad and make sure your tank stance is on now, please. Healers, your tank has just popped invuln. Contrary to popular belief, this means that they're going to die in the next 5 seconds. So, make sure that your tank isn't going to die in the next 5 seconds because they're at 1 HP by either healing them up or assuning any poison on them. Once you have made sufficiently sure that your tank isn't going to be counting pebbles on the ground when you get back, you can stand in your room door and cast Glare on a green viscous slime in the center of the hallway. Do not cast a dot, use Glare, and pull it to you. Then pull that slime just inside the room so it is available to your tank. You are not to deliver it to your tank. Once it is inside the room, it is the tank's responsibility to take it from you. Tanks, use your ranged enmity attack to pull the slime off of your healer. Put it on the pad and make sure it's on the pad. Healers,
Look, we love
you are to
Mimic.
then grab another slime and pull it inside the room. Tanks, once again, pull that slime onto the pad. When two slimes of any color have aggro and are close to each other, they will cast fusion. In this case, we want 2 green slimes to fuse on the green pad. When 2 slimes fuse, they will get a stacking buff. This buff is a health and damage buff, and it will have a +1 next to it for the first time they fuse. You are going to continue ferrying slimes into the room, healers, and tanks. You are going to continue pulling them off of the healers one at a time, and merging them one at a time. Merging them, increasing their buff on the green pad, +1, +2, +3, +4. Once your slime has a +4 buff in its buff bar, you will not merge anymore. Your healer will pull one final slime into your room, and you will call your room as a 4+1, such as Southeast 4+1. This lets me know that you are ready to move on to the next stop. We call it a 4+1 because you've got a +4 slime on the pad and 1 slime on your healer waiting to go. The next step must be coordinated with all other rooms, so do not pull early. You are to not make a +5. During all of this time, while the tanks are building up their slimes, there will be red slimes appearing in each of the rooms. I have assigned a DPS to every room. DPS, your one and only job in a room is to pull out those red slimes. When you attack a red slime, it will get tether aggro. This means healers and tanks do not attack the red slimes. It will be impossible to get them off of you. DPS attack the red slimes and pull them out of the room to either north or south hallway door. The pads at the north and south hallway door will be kill zones. You pull it into that zone and it will die. After it is dead, you go back into your room and you look for more red slimes. These red slimes are important to pull out of the rooms because if they fuse with the slime that the tank is building, it will one-shot the tank and then start one-shotting everyone else. This will very quickly lead to a lot of deaths, and we will just exit the raid instead of expending resources on the first encounter to try and recover it. So I will call a slime wipe, and we will exit and try again. So it is important to pull the slimes out of the rooms. People at 1 and 2, you are not there to just kill things. You are there to look into the rooms, making sure that all red slimes have been pulled out. You look left and right, and you take pride on every single red slime you steal from the DPS that is meant to be looking at them. We have people looking around because the more eyes there are on things, the less likely it is to go wrong. People are blind, people can lag, people sometimes die. There are many reasons why a red slime may not get noticed. So, we have many redundant eyes. Keep an eye on the rooms left and right of you to make sure you've pulled them out. Move around, don't get AFK kicked. There is an 10-minute instance timer. There will occasionally be Bojin soldiers that spawn. Kill them when you see them, stun them if they drop a puddle. When all rooms are called as 4+1, I will ask for a confirmation for you to say such a thing. Please confirm that your room is indeed still 4+1 and nothing tragic has happened. And once that has been done, on my mark, I will call for a merge. When I call for a merge, you have 10 seconds to pull the slime on your healer onto the pad and make a +5 slime. Make sure both slimes are on the green pad. When the slimes fuse, they will start a cast bar called Rupture, which will kill them in about 20 seconds. Our goal is to have all 4 pads have 4 slimes rupturing on them. If all 4 slimes finish their Rupture cast bar within 10 seconds of the first one exploding, then we will have 4 green slimes die on the 4 green pads within 10 seconds, and that constitutes slime victory. When Rupture is called, we are going to all run north out the north door and all the way east to this flag. There, we're going to huddle in the corner and let the explosions blow over. A few things of note. Dancers, do not dance. Your dance is too big. We want very strict AoE and aggro management. As I said before, slimes will only fuse if they have aggro. The less aggro we have on everything, the better off we are. This means dancers no dancing, no AoE healing, no assizing, no earthly star, tanks, no self-healing. If you're taking damage, you can roll mitigation. You can scream at your healer bloody murder, but you are to not heal yourself. This means no equilibrium, no clemency. This can cause an early merge, and we will all be sad. If you do not know the size of your AoE, don't use it. Other than that, do not attack the green slimes. Yes, the 1, 2, 3 for all tanks is safe. It will not generate any party aggro, just aggro on the slime that you're attacking. You, in fact, should be rolling 1, 2, 3 to keep aggro on your green slime and to heal yourself, preventing it from running out anywhere. Finally, there are green slimes that appear in the center of the hallway. Do not attack them if you are not one of the healers. As I said before, we want to keep aggro to a minimum. Let the green slimes live their best life. If they get too close to you, and you aggro them by accident, pull them into the hallway door and kill them. Once we cross the center line, you are to not cross again, because slimes have proximity aggro. You run through that center line, you will pull all 20 slimes that are sitting there. They will all quickly fuse with each other, and we will all quickly have a bunch of explosions. This is bad. Do not do that. We will all be sad once again. Are there any questions on anything that I have said so far? Okay, from the beginning, I open the doors. People go to their rooms. Tanks pop invuln over the green pad, touch the wall, back of the pad. Healers make sure their tanks don't die and grab green slimes. You ferry the green slimes and start merging them, one at a time. +1, +2, +3, +4, stop. Healer grabs a final slime. Your room has a +4 slime and a 1 slime on your healer. You call a 4+1. During this time, all DPS are pulling slimes out of the room and keeping an eye on the rooms. Once all rooms are a 4+1, I call for a merge. You merge these green slimes within 10 seconds of that. Both slimes are on the pad and they're merging. Do not leave the pad until Rupture. And we then all evacuate out the north door and all the way east. If you are ready and have no questions, step in front of the door. Do not click the door. This will serve as an active ready check to make sure that everyone is ready, instead of getting ready checks from all of the parties. If you have a question, please ask. Yes, you're pulling to the door. We are using hallway strats. I believe Lorianne might have a macro for corner strats. But yes, we are pulling out into the hallway door. There will be little green pads. You pull the slimes there, and you kill them. Okay, I don't see anyone over there. There is going to be a 30-second countdown. So, this 30-second countdown is for the benefit of Golem's side. They usually take a shorter amount of time, so we give them a 30-second countdown. We are entering the moment the door opens. Do not run ahead of me. There is a trap that I am popping. Trap has been popped. Red slimes are out. Pull out the red slimes and put them on the pad. If you see two slimes merging when they shouldn't be, interrupt them. You need to either interrupt or kill both of them before the cast bar finishes. Red slimes are out. I only call red slimes that I see. Remember, do not attack the slimes in the center. Let the green slimes in the center live their best life.
Oh, a red merged.
If you can kill it, try it. Otherwise, might be too late.
I'm trying to bring it to the middle. Kill. Interrupt the fusion. Oh, I just fused.
This is probably a slime wipe. This is what happens when slimes get too big. They deal a lot of damage. And people are going to start dying. This is why we keep an eye on all rooms to make sure red slimes are pulled out. Yes, I am calling a slime wipe. We have a +4 big slime. It is going to start one-shotting people. Remember to not attack green slimes in the center if you are not a healer. We will exit and try again. So remember to pull the slimes away and kill them. It is very important that everyone is looking into rooms to make sure red slimes are pulled out. I will only call red slimes when I see red slimes. They appear roughly every 20 seconds. Remember, we are pulling slimes out into the hallway to be killed. They are not to be left in the room. They are to be pulled out into the hallway. We will exit the raid and try again. Slimes is always a touchy thing. It's fine. This is where a lot of wipes start or end up. Don't feel too bad. There's a lot of moving parts. We just need to make sure that everything goes according to plan and things are done carefully and all within respect to each other. Someone is getting a fragment shipment. We will wait till that is done. In the meantime, make sure that you have fragments if you need it. You will once again need a Pure Essence and Re-Razor. You should not have used any actions. That is fine. We can get people fragments. You can go buy them off the market board. We will make sure people have enough fragments to enter again. This is a ready check to make sure that you have your Pure Essence. If you do not have it, press no. Make sure you still have what is required. It is fine if you do not. Just make sure that you are getting it. It would be a shame to get it properly done the first time and not have it the second time. Yes, but just make sure you have at least one before going in, or you have a large enough that you don't get RNG screwed. Contrary to popular belief, have a large enough that you don't get RNG screwed. Rainer, are you getting essences? Just making sure. Okay. Let us know when you have them. Contrary to popular belief, have a large enough that you don't get RNG screwed. Okay, once again, we're making sure everyone has Pure Essences and Re-Razors. Double check your cache and make sure you have them. Okay, we are zoning in. We're at 47 out of 48. Please tab back in and press commence. Oh, we had a DC? Okay. Unfortunate timing, but it is what it is. Good to know, though. Okay, we are going to try an instance again with Soanya back. $46 out of 48. $47 out of 48. Perfect. You're not desync this time. As before, pop your pure essence, pop your re-raiser, grab your refresh your stuff out of your cache, and then go to your way marker. Yes, check your party members. Make sure everyone has a pure essence. They are Indomitable, Divine, Duelist, Fiend Hunter, and Elder. Once again, pure essences are Indomitable, Divine, Duelist, Fiend Hunter, Elder. Then make sure everyone in your party has a re-raiser and get a ready check. Alpha ready. Delta ready. Echo ready. Foxtrot ready. We are waiting for Bravo and Charlie to be ready. Bravo ready. Reminder to equip haste gear if you have it. Charlie ready. Okay, we're going down. A, B, C to the left, D, E, F to the right. If you are in Delta Echo Foxtrot, you can jump down one voice call. everyone back into their positions, please? I want to double check. Can I get the tanks to jump, please? Healers, jump, please. DPS, jump, please. 1, 2, spread loosely. Okay. What went wrong before is we had someone doing the other strategy for Slime's rooms. These strategies are not necessarily incompatible, but strained when you put them together. Remember, we are pulling red slimes out of the room towards the north or south hallway doors for people to kill them. Other than that, we didn't get far enough to see anything go wrong. Do remember that if you see slimes merging, you can interject and head graze them to interrupt their cast of fusion. You need to interrupt both casts from both of the slimes, or all of the slimes casting it. If you see a Bosian soldier putting down a puddle, an orange puddle underneath you, you can stun it. Do remember that you pull slime out, and it is everyone's job to pull them out. Once again, from the top, we open the rooms, tanks go to their rooms, pop invuln over the green pad, touch the wall, step on the back of the green pad, healers make sure they heal them, and start ferrying slimes. Tanks merge those slimes, make sure your tanks... Yes, you can only stun Bosian soldiers, you cannot stun slimes. Tanks, turn your tank stance on. Healers, you ferry slimes one at a time. Tanks, you merge them one at a time. +1, +2, +3, +4, stopping. Healer pulls one final slime. You call your room 4+1. During this time, DPS are pulling people. DPS and people at 1 and 2 are pulling red slimes out of their rooms and killing them at north and south hallway door. Ignoring any green slimes that do not need to be aggroed. If a green slime wanders to them, they kill it, but otherwise they stay near the door as much as possible to not pull any aggro. People at 1 and 2 are looking into the rooms, killing them. On call, once every room is 4+1, I call for a merge. On merge, you have 10 seconds. And we evacuate out the north door and all the way east to this flag. If you have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, in front of the door. I will repeat once again, we are pulling the red slimes out to the hallway doors for people to kill them. Okay. 30 seconds on the board. We are entering the moment it opens. Do not run ahead of me. I am popping a trap in the center of the room. Trap has been popped. Red slimes are out. Do not use actions. You should not need to. Not unless they are a completely renewable action. If you have any slimes, pull them into the... If you have any extra slimes, pull them into the pad for people to kill them. Remember, the pad is a kill zone. Anything that goes near the pad dies. Red slimes are out. Remember to stay near the pad as much as possible so you do not provoke slime aggro from the center of the hallway. Red slimes are out. Northwest, 4+1. Red slimes are out. This is not a race. Do things carefully. Do things methodically. Southeast, 4+1. Red slimes are out. Southwest, 4+1. Can all rooms please confirm that they are 4+1? If they are, I see a southeast, southwest. Okay, just making sure.
Oh, tank just died. Tank just died.
What room?
Southeast or northwest. Oh, he popped back up.
Yes, make sure you heal your tank. Do not let your tanks die, please. Rooms, please confirm. Southeast. Please confirm your room if you are 4+1. Please say it again. Southwest. Why are tanks dying? Healers, please heal your tanks. Northeast, 4+1. I'm looking for a northwest 4+1, please. If you have it.
Oh, yeah, it looks pretty.
Merge, merge, merge. Merge now, merge now. Do not leave that pad until you see your slime casting Rupture. We are evacuating out the north door and all the way east. Out the north door, all the way east. Healers, rescue anyone that is far behind. All the way into the corner. You cannot fall off, so hug the corner. Kill any slimes that are near us. Build your gauge. Do not jump on that pad. Do not jump on that pad. I want every party to make sure everyone in their party is alive. Everyone in A is alive. B is alive. Charlie is alive. Okay, we are headed up then. On the pad and we go up. If you've died, remember to pop a Uri Razor. Okay, how many people are in call? Everyone's back in call. Okay. All loot in DRS is personal. There are 2 chests down here at the bottom of the stairs. We cannot pick them up for you. And we will not be able to pick up any other loot in the raid for you. So, make sure you pick up your loot after every boss, or after every encounter we fight, or you will lose it. No one else can pick it up for you. You must do it yourself. All loot is personal. Other than that, this purple line from this point forward in every fight that we do will serve as a readiness indicator. This is true across every single NA Discord that runs DRS. That means if you go over to Cafe, CEM, Pebe, Lego, anywhere else, this purple line is readiness. If you are in front of the purple line and inside the arena, you are ready. If you are behind the purple line, you are considered not ready. This means that if you're in front of the purple line and you suddenly get a work call and they ask you to work hilariously under wage, you step behind the purple line, you tell them, lol, go fuck yourself, there's no way I'm working for a senior position for minimum wage. You hang up after telling them that you will never do business with their business again, and you'll make sure none of your family does either. And then you step back across the purple line, because you have done your due diligence as a citizen, telling them to go fuck themselves. Because you are back ready to do DRS again. Look. It's happened, okay? Finally, welcome to Ravana Savage. It might say Trinity Seeker above his hitbox, but he's really just a little bit harder than Ravana Extreme. I hope you know how to do Ravana Extreme. If you would like to be the main tank for the rest of the night, step in front of me and jump. Is that Ryder? No, it's I. Okay, Di, were you saying? Am I actually gonna have to ask this? Look, I promised Ryder. Are you gonna steal Ryder's slot and make him angry at you? Okay, so... Di, you are the main tank for the night, I assume? That's what you were asking? Okay. Di Mara is the main tank for the night. If you are not Di Mara, please turn off your tank stance. If you are Di Mara, please have more confidence in yourself before you decide to work minimum wage for him. But anyway, make sure your tank stance is off. Okay, I call Trinity Seeker boss relative. This means that I will say something such as left left, right right. Which means you will stand left of the boss for 2 hits, then right of the boss for 2 hits. If I say something such as front, back, back, front, you stand in front of the boss for 2 hits, or front of the boss for 1 hit, behind the boss for 2 hits, and then in front of the boss for a final hit. Basically, you stand where I tell you to. Everything else will be called out on the fly, but as a general reminder for the rest of the night, if at any point you die, you have 5, and you resurrect, you have 5 seconds of transcendence. Use this to get out of any death walls, use this to make sure you are safe of any mechanics, and before your transcendence ends, pop another Re-Razor. Re-Razors are our primary line of defense, and they will help you practice mechanics more. So, if you ever die, make sure you have a Re-Razor ready to pop. If you are ready, step in front of the purple line. This is an enraged boss fight. Use food, use lost actions, use everything you've got. We are waiting on Lincoln and Aldous. I still am trying to convince Aldous to have a U in his name, so it's Aldous. Yes, Elian, you are popping Rend 30 seconds into the pool after the first Rend buff disappears. Yes, if you don't go AFK during fights, especially during the second half of the fights, we will be picking, hopefully, everyone up with healer LB3s, so be ready for when that happens. Okay, 30 seconds on the board, please. You are the main tank, so you're setting it on the board, Di. Make sure your tank stance is off. If you are not, die, please. Once again, food, lost actions. Your main tank, it's your responsibility. Our first cast card is a raid wide. Up next, we have a friendly clone at 1. Say hello. It is the only friendly clone of the night. There it is, and watch it go. Fourfold. We are front, back, front, back. One, 2, crossover. 3, 4, look away from the orb, get away from the flower, look away from the orb, get away from the flower. Inside the hitbox, inside the hitbox, inside the hitbox, inside the hitbox. Tanks up front, Sharebuster. Tanks up front, Sharebuster. Solo Buster, main tank needs to be alone. Solo Buster, main tank needs to be alone or you kill him and yourself. Up next, knockback or hide. Up next is a knockback or hide. Break your chains and get behind a barrier. Break your chains and get behind a barrier. Back on the boss. We have Ifrit dashes and another knockback or hide. Ifrit dashes and another knockback or hide. We are starting at 4. We're starting at 4. We're starting in front of the barrier at 4. And we're going to be behind the barrier at 3. Behind the barrier at 3. Back on the boss. Stack up on 3. Stack up on 3. Stack up on 3. Stay stacked, stay stacked, stay stacked. Or baiting line AoEs. Out of the orange. Up next, be on sand, be on sand, be on sand. After this, there are tethers going out to people. Tethers are cones. Rotate the cones around the center of the arena. Tethers are cones. Rotate the cones around the center of the arena, away from the party. These cones give vulnerability, so do not stack them either. Be on stone, tethers away. Be on stone, tethers away. One more time, stone, tethers away. Sand, tethers away. Sand, tethers away. Be on sand, tethers away. Out of the orange. Point the boss cardinally. And be intercardinal of the boss when he casts. Be intercardinal of the boss. Intercardinal of the boss. Up next, we have Fourfold and Ifrit dashes. Fourfold and Ifrit dashes. We're starting at 3. We're starting in front of the barrier at 3. We are right, left, right. Right, left, right. Crossover. 2. 3. Crossover. 4. Look away from the orb, get away from the flower. Look away from the orb, get away from the flower. Intermission time. Tank Buster is going out soon. Raid wide. Tank Buster. Up next, we will have Fourfold and Sand or Stone. Fourfold and Sand or Stone. Boss's hitbox will be Stone. Fourfold, Sand or Stone. Boss's hitbox is Stone. We are back, front, front, back. Back, front, front, back. Be on Stone, be on Stone. 1. Crossover. 2. 3. Be on Sand, be on Sand. One more random one. Be on Sand, be on Sand. Look away from the orb, get away from the flower. We are resolving. Crisscross. Orange, flower. Crisscross. Orange, flower. Back on the boss. Raid wide. Be near the boss, be near the boss. Inside the hitbox, inside the hitbox. Slow roll DPS a little bit. Slow roll DPS a little bit. We're building LB gauge. We have off-center fourfold and a knockback or hide. We're going to be behind the barrier at 2, behind the barrier at 2. Then we are going to be inside, inside, outside, outside, inside, inside, outside, outside, inside, inside, outside, outside. 1, 2, crossover, 3, 4. Break your chains, then healer LB3. Break your chains, then healer LB3. Break your chains, healer LB3, healer LB3, healer LB3. Raid wide. And burn the boss. We're not seeing the next mechanic, it's dying. Do not run ahead, there are traps up ahead. Do not run ahead, there are traps up ahead. Get your loot and hold on for just a minute. Do we have any deaths? I do not see any deaths. We are going to go forward and hang a right. We are not stepping on that golden glowing pad. That is for our duelist. If you step on it, your run has ended. You will not be able to progress forward. You will simply die against it. Instead, hang a right and head towards the Dahu arena. We are waiting for RP text saying that the duelist has begun. If we start Dahu before the duelist has begun, the duelist will be locked out of the duel, and depending on where he is, be locked out of the rest of the instance. So, we are not pulling Dahu until we have confirmation that the duel has begun.
If the is in VC, can they come help give duelist buffs?
Yes, if you are part of the duelist's party and you have a buff to give to the duelist, please go to the duel pad so the duelist can receive it, please. This countdown is for the duelist. This is a listening check. You are not to pull the Dahu. You are not to pull the Dahu. This is a listening check. Can you pass your listening check? Congratulations, you have passed your listening check. Okay. Dahu is not an enraged boss, so save your lost actions. You do not need to do them. Save your lost actions. You do not need to use them. The only thing you need to know about Dahu is he will occasionally put numbers above your head. When you get a number above your head, you go to that marker. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. Step in front of the purple line if you are ready to go. Yes, if someone ever lands in an AoE, remember to prepare to Asuna them. We are just waiting on Morgana, Kala, and Dave Strider. Give Morgana some dotes, maybe entice her to come back. The Shotgun of Hearts always works. Usually takes application of 20 seconds. Pull the boss when ready. There is an active combat in progress, so we cannot have a countdown. Dahu has puddles! Be out of the puddles, be out of the puddles. The Dahu is dashing! Do not be in front of the Dahu, head south! Do not be in front of the Dahu, head south! Do not be dead south! Out of the cone! Back to the center. Be near or far, be near or far! We have jukes incoming! Be near or far! Avoid the line lions. And 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. Jukes, near or far, near or far. Out of the juke, then into it. Get knocked back into a safe spot. Healers get ready to Asuna anyone who got knocked into an AoE. Back on the boss. 5 cones in front of the boss. 5 cones in front of the boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up next is Ad's phase. Treat this as a tank buster on the main threat. Make sure he has plenty of healing and shielding. Watch as he spins the Dahu around and round. Or stands there, defying everything. There he goes. As he spins the Dahu round and round, you look at all the cats. You see that he's hurting them. You realize that this is just a metaphor for what I had to do to get this run going today. Organizing everybody into a particular position, making sure everyone was doing what they needed to. Now, we're killing bosses just like we killed the cats. Just like I'm going to kill you. Everything, all at once! Puddles, jukes! Out of the juke, into the juke! 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. Tanks with flare markers, you're headed south. Everyone else, you're headed north. Tanks with flare markers, head south. Everyone else, head north. Back on the boss. Asuna anybody that got knocked into an AoE, please. 5 more cones! 5 more cones! Congratulations to the duelist! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kill the boss. Do not run ahead until we have made sure that there are no deaths, please. Do not run ahead until we have made sure there are no deaths, please. We've got 1 dead. Resurrection protocol is in effect. Remember to stand on a dead body, then slot in a plate for Lost Arise. Then, once you've used that plate, step off. Let someone else try. This will spread Lost Arises throughout the raid, making sure that all of our Lost Arises are not stuck on a single healer, who, if that healer happens to die, we no longer have any Arises left. If you have not gotten your Dahu loot, this is your last chance to go back and get it. You should have feet plate in your inventory or a foot coffer. Yes, that is the Trinity Seeker loot. Remember, 1 person resing at a time. Okay, I believe that is all dead resurrected. So make sure you have your loot. And we are going down to the next arena. Hey, look, I can wipe that on you. People say I have it all over my hands. Hey, look. I'm not against it if you're into that. I need a tank on every waymarker, please. You are a main tank, you cannot be on one of these tanks. I need... Oh, what? Yeah, what? A tank on every waymarker, please. 1 tank, every waymarker, please. Can I have 2 dispellers on D? Can I have 2 dispellers on D? I need 1 more dispeller on Delta, please. Okay. Dispellers, if you know what you're doing, please jump. That is perfectly fine. Tanks on waymarkers, if you know what you're doing, please jump. That is also perfectly fine. Okay. Dispellers, during the first portion of the fight. Okay, I wasn't expecting the mother all pancakes to be slipped into my pocket. Dispellers, during the first portion of the fight, the warrior on the east side of the arena is going to be boosting after every major mechanics. All you need to do is you need to dispel that boost. I will call it out for you. You will cast Dispel independently of each other. We have 2 of you for redundancy. Don't try and coordinate, just cast until you see it is gone. Do you understand? If so, please jump. Tanks on waymarkers, you are Aura Sphere tanks. During the final phase of the fight, you are going to be taking the Aura Spheres that appear at the north and south ends of the arena. A and B are North Aura Sphere tanks. 1 and 2 are South Aura Sphere tanks. A and 1 are first in line. B and 2 are second in line. What this means is, during the final portion of the fight, there will be Aura Spheres appearing. A and 1 are first in line. A goes north, 1 heads south. They turn on their tank stance. They grab aggro of the Aura Spheres. And when it dies, they pop Invuln. They make sure they're first on the enmity. They make sure they have their tank stance on, so they're top enmity when it dies. And when it dies, they pop Invuln because about 5 seconds later, the Aura Sphere is going to spike check you. If you do not have Invuln up, due to the stat squish, you are highly likely to die. So pop Invuln and be safe. After you've used your Invuln, you are done. Turn off your tank stance. About 20 seconds later, another set of Aura Spheres will appear. B goes north, 2 goes south. You turn on your tank stance, you grab Enmity. When it dies, you pop Invuln. Once again, 5 seconds later, you'll get a spite check. If you don't have Invuln up, you are likely to die. If you have Invuln up, you live. After it happens, you can turn off your tank stance because you are also done. Tanks on waymarkers, if you understand what you need to do, jump. Perfect. I need 6 reflectors. I need 6 reflectors. Reflects A through F, please. I have Charlie Reflect, Echo Reflect, Delta Reflect. Alpha Reflect, Bravo Reflect. I just need Foxtrot Reflect, please. You do not need to be in that party to reflect that position. This is just our method of coordinating who takes what position. I need a Foxtrot Reflect, please. Okay. Ein, you are Foxtrot Reflect. Reflectors, in Raid Chat 1, there is a diagram on how you are going to be reflecting. You are going to, on the final phase of the fight, there will be spirit spheres that appear. You are going to start at your waymark, where there will be a spirit sphere. So, for example, let's say I am F Reflect. You're going to start at your spirit sphere at F. That is this black circle on the diagram. And you will cast Reflect. Then the spirit sphere is going to drop an AoE on you. And you are going to reflect it. After the AoE goes off and you have reflected it, you're going to move according to the black line to the blue circle where there will be a second spirit sphere. Yonder here. Once again, you're going to cast Reflect on that spirit sphere. And you're going to stand in the AoE. You're going to bounce it back and kill the spirit sphere. That is one set of Reflect. About 20 seconds later, a second set of spirit spheres are going to appear. Once again, you cast Reflect, you stand in the AoE, you let the AoE hit you, and you reflect it back. Then, black line, blue circle. You stand in the second spirit sphere, you cast Reflect. The AoE hits you, and you kill it. That is all you need to do. Do reflectors have any questions on what they need to do? Okay. This boss uses Mystadio mechanics. At any point, if anyone has any questions, please ask. This boss uses Mystadio mechanics. This is the Orbone Monastery Sniper mechanic. This is Criterion 3 second boss mechanics, where you get 3 yellow triangles around you, and you have 1 open spot. You need to show your hole. You need to show your hole to the boss because the boss is going to try and shove his balls at you. If you are not showing your hole, you're going to be tickled and take doom. This is bad. So, the first thing that happens is you will need to show your hole to the boss in the center. And then you need to show your hole to the turrets along the walls. The boss in the center will fire first, so show your hole to him. And then there will be turrets along the walls that has arrows on them. You need to show your hole to the arrow of the turret. Do not overlap between turrets, or do not stand between turrets. Stand directly in line with one of the turrets, not between 2 of them. They do overlap slightly, and you can get clipped. In Raid Chat 1, there is an example of what this will look like. Does anyone have any questions about the Mystadio mechanic? Okay. Pity diagram. Fine. You're asking to be doxxed. I'm fine with that. You were the one that asked for it this time. In Raid Chat 1, there is an image that only wants everyone to see. This is how you solve your mechanic. Dai, you are taking the Western boss. I will tell you where to take it. Finally, you need healers. This is where you slot in yellow and purple. Yellow goes on your casting classes that deal magical damage. Purple goes on your physical damage dealing classes. You will need to potentially click this buff off depending on the callout. Because this buff will transform one of your damage to a different type. In Raid Chat 1, there is a macro, depending on what language you are, if you are not comfortable clicking off your buff. You can run this macro, and it will get rid of whatever buff you have. Wiggle around, don't get AFK kicked. Because these bosses will be immune to a certain damage type. So, if I say, click off purple, need yellow, if you have the purple buff, you are dealing 0 damage. These buffs are exclusive to each other, so you can only ever have one of them. Therefore, if you have the buff, you just need to run this macro, and it will get rid of whatever buff you have. I need yellow and purple to go out. I have FOP BR, so does Alduus. So, I need all tanks to turn on... I need purple and yellow to be handed out. Purple and yellow need to be handed out, and if you are ready, to step across the purple line. All tanks, turn on tank stance. We are going to be pulling this first section of the arena together. Because we have an active duelist in the group, he will try and rip aggro from us. I mean, no, we don't want you to die. Okay, once everyone is across the purple line, we will begin. Purple goes on casters, or purple goes on physical damage, yellow goes on casters. We are just waiting on Ein and Autumn to be ready. All tanks up front. These bosses do not have proximity aggro, they have combat aggro. 30 seconds on the board. We are going to, all tanks, turn tank stances on. We are going to evoke on the 4th GCD to pull aggro. To try and prevent our duelists from dying. We're going to pull them from the center and invoke on any boss we do not have aggro of. Raid wide. Evoke if you have not already. Bosses are disappearing. If you're not a main tank, please turn your tank stance off. Warrior to the wall, knight to the center. Warrior to the wall, knight to the center. Click off yellow, need purple. Click off yellow, need purple. If you have the yellow buff, you're dealing 0 damage. If you have the yellow buff, you're dealing 0 damage. Our first mechanic is going to be a bomb mechanic. It is going to be Sword Omen. We are taking a bomb against the wall. We are taking a bomb against the wall. Bombs against the wall. Tethers to big. Non-tethers to tethers to big, non-tethers to small. Tethers to big, non-tethers to small. Bomb on the wall. Bomb on the wall. Tethers to big, non-tethers to small. If you land first, go to a place where an explosion just was. Back on the bosses. Dispel the warrior, dispel the warrior. Knight is high, knight is high. Dispel the warrior. These bosses need to die at the same time, raid-wide. These bosses need to die at the same time. Even their HP out. Knight is high. Up next, we have Wind and Lightning. Wind and Lightning. Tethers to wind, non-tethers to lightning. After wind and lightning resolves, we're moving to the center of the arena, then going near or far, away from the side without the french fry. Tethers to wind, non-tethers to lightning. Then center. We're inside the hitbox on the side without the french fry. We're inside the hitbox south. Inside the hitbox south. Back on the boss. Dispel the warrior, dispel the warrior. Warrior is high, warrior is high, even them out, warrior is high, even them out. Tank Buster. They're evened out, keep them even, keep them even. Click off purple, need yellow. Click off purple, need yellow. Swap buffs. Click off purple, need yellow. Healers, recast yellow on the people who need it. Up next, we have Shield Omen. We are going to get knocked back from the center of the arena towards the side with the tether. Knock back from the center of the arena towards the side with the tether. Tethers the small, non-tethers, tethers the big, non-tethers the small. Tethers the big, non-tethers the small. Knock back towards the side with the tether. On a bomb, tethers the big, non-tethers the small. Land first, explosion. Kill the knight, kill the knight, kill them both. You no longer need yellow or purple. You no longer need yellow or purple. Gunner to the center, soldier to the wall. Gunner to the center, soldier to the wall. Our first mechanic is a Mustadio mechanic. This is Show Your Hole. This is Fireball Frogs. Fireballs will appear, turn into frogs, and jump around. Our safe spot will be between the two small fireballs when the frogs jump. We will then need to show our hole to the center, then wall. Our safe spot is north. Our safe spot is north. Show your hole to the center. Show your hole to the center. Wall. Back on the boss. Gunner, knight, soldier is high, soldier is high. Focus soldier, please. Soldier is high, focus soldier, please. Main tanks, get ready. We're going to pick up our turrets on the side that we are on. Bosses are even, keep them even. Turrets are out, pick up the turrets, main tanks, and everyone, kill the turrets, kill the turrets. Turrets must die, main tanks, invuln this sniper shot. Turrets must die, turrets must die. Both turrets must die. Kill the turrets, back on the bosses. Keep them even, keep them even. Up next, Icy or Pyretic Portent. Icy or Pyretic Portent. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Do not stop to attack. Casting is not moving. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Back on the boss. Keep them evened out. Up next, we have another Mustadio mechanic. Show your hole. Jumping clones. Tethered clones swing. All clones jump twice. Tethered clones swing. All clones jump twice. Soldier is high. Show your hole. Safe spot is north-south. Safe spot is north or south. Show your hole. Center. Wall. Okay. Healer LB3. Kill the boss. Healer LB3. Healer LB3. Healer LB3. Aura Sphere tanks. Get ready. Reflectors. Get ready. Everyone. Kill the Aura Spheres when they appear. Kill the Aura Spheres. Kill the Aura Spheres. Everyone kill the Aura Spheres. Reflectors. Reflect. On to the bosses, kill the bosses. This is Enrage, kill the bosses. This is Enrage. Stop attacking, let the parry go out. Stop attacking, let the parry go out. Reflectors, get ready. Aura Sphere tanks, 2, get ready. Reflectors, reflect. Everyone, kill the Aura Spheres, kill the Aura Spheres. Reflectors, reflect. Kill the Aura Spheres. Kill the bosses. Kill the bosses. This is Enrage. Kill the bosses. This is Enrage. Healer LB3 if you have not yet. We have a few deaths. We are picking them up. Do not run ahead while we pick up the deaths. Healer Resurrection Protocol is in effect. Remember, stand on a dead body, then slot in Lost Arise, then pick them up. Once you've used your plate, step off the body, let someone else try. Say thank you to our duelist for getting us a second loot chest. The second loot chest contains your handpiece and is only acquired from successful duels or from a queen clear upon RNG. So say thank you to our duelist for getting us our second loot chest. Tanks, make sure your tank stance is off if you are not the main tank. We are not moving ahead until all deaths are accounted for.
Hello. Of your starting square. If you are number 5 or 7, you should start on a black square.
I believe that is all dead accounted for. So we are moving on. If you are not Daimara, please make sure your tank stance for off. Here at Aether, we like to gamble. We are going to gamble for uptime on which spot is going to be safe. Hug the wall and make your way to 1 or 4. Hug the wall and make your way to 1 or 4. If someone has Banish, they can use it. No one likes ice spikes. The first safe spot will be at either 1 or 4. If you guess correctly, glory be to you and your family. If you guess incorrectly, much shame to you, your cow, your mother, and everyone around you. Save your actions. Unless you know you're going to replace them. This is not an enraged fight, so save your actions unless you know you're going to replace them. And finally, 30 seconds on the board. Raid wide coming out. We shall see where our first safe spot is. It is in fact at 1. Our first safe spot is at 1. Walk your donut. Do not walk into the death wall at the end. It'll be very shameful of you. We're moving to Bravo. We're moving to Bravo. 3 pulses at... we're going to wait for the next mechanic to arrive. We're waiting for the next mechanic to arrive. We're going to move to Alpha. We're moving to Alpha. 3 pulses at Bravo, and we move back to Bravo. 3 pulses at Bravo, and we move back to Bravo. 1, 2, 3, back to Bravo. 3 pulses. 1, 2, 3, Alpha. Boss is going to disappear soon. Boss is going to disappear soon. We are going to kill the red ads, heal the white ads, kill the red ads, heal the white ads. Benediction is a one-shot against the white because you know how much they hate doing it. Interrupt the boss when it appears. Watch as the boss has no animation because we've ruined his day. We are seeing what our next mechanic is. We are going to start at Bravo. We are starting at Bravo. We are starting at Bravo. We are getting knocked back from Bravo to 2 and walking our donut. Or not. Do not run ahead. Do not run ahead. There are traps up ahead. Do not run ahead. There are traps up ahead. I don't know how long Aldis is going to take his BR FOP for, but I'm going to be replacing mine soon, so if you wish to mimic BR FOP, this is last chance. Ah. Well, this is last chance to mimic BR FOP if you wish for it. Okay then. No takers. I am going to grab Percept. Do not run ahead of the Perceptor. When you zone down the stairs, if you do not see a trap in the doorway, do not move ahead. There are traps down the stairs as well. In fact, the traps down the stairs, we need some of them. If we pop both of them, we are going to exit the raid after killing TA because we cannot progress forward. Do not run forward if you do not see the trap in the doorway. Let it load in. Make your way around it. And then make your way down to the Arena of Trinity Avowed. God damn it, a skunk just fucking died outside or something. Rip. Welcome to Trinity Avowed. Also known as the Hot Cold Bitch. This boss's main gimmick is giving you double temperatures. Your goal is to make sure your temperature is neutralized by the end of the mechanic. And so you need to look at your debuff bar. Unlike normal mode, if you use the bar above your head exclusively, you will die as it shows only one of your 2 temperatures. So you need to look at your debuff bar to find both of them. These temperatures might be different, and what you will need to do is you will need to add them together. This means that if you have a hot 1 and a hot 1, you need to add them together to potentially get a cold 2. Or a hot 2. Which means you need to get hit by a cold 2 to neutralize your 2 hot 1 temperatures. Conversely, on the other hand, if you have a cold 1 and a hot 2, you still need a cold 1 to neutralize your cold 1 and hot 2. Because cold 1 plus hot 2 is still hot 1. So you take a cold 1 to neutralize it. There is a diagram in Raid Chat 1 to help you understand what I am talking about. In effect, you get 2 temperatures, you add them together, you get hit by something to neutralize it by the end of the mechanic. There are 3 phases to Trinity Avowed that we are going to go over. The first phase is Arrow Phase. In Raid Chat 1 during these explanations, there will be diagrams to go out to help you understand what is happening. During Arrow Phase, most of the arena will turn into a death wall, leaving us with a sliver to move across. On the opposite end of the arena, arrows are going to appear. You need to find your temperature that you need to get hit by. Find that arrow. That arrow will then move down the ladder, taking every turn possible as it goes down the ladder. And you need to stand in the tile where it will end up at to get hit by it. Once again, you need to find your temperature. Find your arrow. Follow the arrow down the ladder to figure out what you get hit by. And stand in that tile where it ends up. The second phase that we're going to talk about is Swords Phase. In Swords Phase, the boss is going to disappear, turning it into a full downtime mechanic. There will be, and I will call out a safe spot. You will need to stand 1 square north, south, east, or west from those safe spots in order to get hit by a sword that is swinging. If you are diagonal when the sword swings, you're going to die. So, if I say the safe spot is 4, you need to be north, south, east, or west 1 square from 4 to change your temperature. If you do not need to change your temperature, there will be no temperature change at 4 and you can safely stand there. If I say the safe spot is 2, you need to be 1 square north, south, east, or west of 2 to change your temperature. If you do not need to change your temperature, standing at 2 will be safe. Finally, the final phase of the fight we need to talk about is Arrow Phase, or Meteor Phase. Congratulations, you already know everything you need to know about Meteor Phase. For the rest of the fight, we are going to be tanks. You need to slot in Lost Aether Shield. We are going to be mitigating every single raid wide. These raid wides hurt and they give bleed. So, you need to make sure that when I call out Aether Shield, Raid Wide, Mitigate, you are mitigating these raid wides. We like our healers and we don't want them to die. Parties with a single healer. If you are a person with Cure 4, after the raid wide goes off, pop Cure 4 to heal your party. Cure 4 in general is just a great way to mitigate any deaths due to bleed from these raid wides. They hurt a lot, and Cure 4 heals for like 75% of anybody's HP because lol stat squish. So, we're going to be mitigating every single raid wide. We're going to be healing after them to prevent any death from bleed. And if you do not have Shell 2 or you are not ready, step behind the purple line. If you have Shell 2 and you are ready, step across the purple line. Shell 2 is another way of mitigating extra damage from these raid wides, so our healers don't have to work as hard. This is an enraged boss. Use food, use lost actions, use everything you've got. 30 seconds on the board. Tanks up front, Sharebuster. Raid wide, Aether Shield, mitigate. Be away from the boss, away from the boss, away from the boss, be away from the boss. Be behind the boss, behind the boss, behind the boss, be behind the boss. Be in front of the boss, in front of the boss, in front of the boss. We have Swords phase first. Remember, a diagonal means death. You need to be 1 square away from the safe spot. 1 square away from the safe spot. North, south, east, or west. Diagonal of the safe spot means doom. The safe spot is 3. The safe spot is 3. You need to be 1 square north, south, east, or west of 3. If you're diagonal of 3, you're dead. The safe spot is 1. The safe spot is 1. If you do not need to change your temperature on 1. Otherwise, don't be diagonal. Back on the boss. Raid wide, Aether Shield, mitigate. Be away from the boss, be away from the boss, be away from the boss. Meteors, check your temperature. We're going to be in the center of the arena, and we're going to get forced marched from the center of the arena diagonally towards the meteor that we need to get hit by. Check your temperature, check your forced march. Make sure you know what you need to get hit by, find it, then get forced march there from the center of the arena. Do not greed this. Do not greed this. Forced march now. Forced march now. Back on the boss. Aether Shield. Raid wide. Mitigate. Up next, we have arrows. Be behind the boss, behind the boss, behind the boss. Tanks up front, Sharebuster. Check your quick march. You're going to be quick march from the center column, left or right towards Delta or Bravo. Quick march from the center of the column, left or right towards Delta or Bravo. Away from the fire, away from the fire. You're getting quick march towards Bravo. If you die in the fire, walk out. Do not gap close. Healers, rescue anyone that resurrects. Check your temperature. Find your arrow. Figure out where it will land and stand in that tile. Check your temperature. Find your arrow. Figure out where it'll land and stand in that tile. Back on the boss. Aether Shield. Raid wide. Mitigate. Please rotate the boss back around. Be in front of the boss, in front of the boss, in front of the boss. You have 2 temperatures this time. The boss is about to disappear. Make sure you know what your 2 temperatures are. Add them together, figure out what you need to get hit by. You may need to get hit twice. Remember, diagonal means death. Two is the safe spot. 2 is the safe spot. If you're diagonal of 2, you're dead. One is the safe spot. 1 is the safe spot. If you're diagonal of 1, you're dead. Back on the boss. Aether Shield, raid wide, mitigate. Away from the boss, away from the boss, away from the boss. There is no forced march this time. Instead, we are going to avoid unseen eyes. Do not cast healer LB3 until I call for it. Check your temperatures, find out what you need, find your meteor, and listen for callouts or solve unseen eyes for yourself. We are center inner cards, center inner cards, center inner cards. Oh no, east west black, east west black. Holy fuck. How am I blind? Holy shit. Wait for this AoE, then healer LB3. Raid wide, mitigate. Healer LB3, healer LB3. Behind the boss, behind the boss, behind the boss. We are avoiding unseen eyes, then popping sprint. East-west of the boss, pop sprint. We are dashing to Bravo after the flash. Dash now. Rescue anyone that has died. Check your brand. Check your temperature. Check your forced march. You need to find your arrow. Find where it lands. 2 tiles away. Force march into it. Find your arrow. Find your tile. 2 tiles away. Force march into it. If you have no temperature, find the empty arrow, treat it as an arrow, and follow it down. Forced march now. Forced march now. Raid wide, Aether Shield, mitigate. Burn the boss, this is Enrage. Healer LB3 if you have not already. Tanks up front. Healer LB3 if you have not. Healer LB3 if you have not. We have a few dead, including me. Shameful, I know, but it is what it is. Do not run ahead. We need to unlock the secret boss. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and be right back. And fuck it, if something happens, only you're in charge.
All right, we're going to set this up real quick. If you are new, come back with me really quick. I'm over here jumping. All my new people, come south, come south. We're not going to do anything yet. We're going to wait for Owie. But we are going to gather up in this hallway here. Watch for the traps. Do not touch the traps. Just stand in the dead center here. And wait for Owie. He will be right back. Hopefully he's wiping or washing his hands right now.
You're damn straight I don't wash my hands. My body is clean. Why would I need to wash my hands? Hug the pink trap, don't pop it. Hug the pink trap, but don't pop it. We're gonna unlock the secret boss. On the count of 3, we're all going to jump in. On 3. 1, 2, 3. We are going to go down the stairs and across the pad. Okay, okay, Aldous, fine. That was pretty good. Our senpais are lighting the way down the line and over the pad. Dude, show left and show right is literally the best thing that has ever happened to DRS. I remember the before and after of it, and it's glorious. Keep moving forward through the doors, through the bars. Keep moving forward to unlock it. When you zone in, do not move forward. When you zone in, do not move forward. There are traps down here. There are traps down here. Can I have one warrior sweep the right-hand wall, please? Hug the right-hand wall. Hug the right-hand wall. Don't move forward unless you're sure. Okay, stop moving. Can you make your way back? Stop moving. I will pop it myself. Okay, the platform is now safe. Sorry, I'm too quick with my antidotes. You don't get to Asuna me. I need tanks. Holy shit. I need tanks on every single waymark, please. Tanks on every single waymark, please. Tanks on waymarks. If you know what you're doing, jump. Wait, keep jumping if you know what you're doing. Holy shit. Okay. Thought for just a second. Okay, tanks on waymarks. You are primary Minotaur tanks. When the boss hits 70%, he will spawn 4 ads. These ads, they will need to be spread apart and kited. Because if they touch you, you get doom stacks. So, at 70%, you're going to turn on your tank stance, and you're going to kite your tanks. A goes north, B goes east, C goes south, D goes west. 1, 2, 3, 4, you are backup Minotaur tanks. If the tank that you are paired with, for whatever reason, dies, whether they get doomed, they fail a mechanic, or something else, you're the backup tank. You are to be with them at every time. Yes, pop re-razor if you have not. Also, I need to follow my own directions. Because, as I said before, we do not want these Minotaurs hitting people. These Minotaurs have the special property where if they get too close together, they tether and they speed the hell up. Their auto attacks get faster and they start killing people faster. For obvious reasons, this is bad. So, we want to try our best to keep the Minotaurs spread out from each other as best as we can. So, you are going to be kiting the Minotaur with your main tank. And you are going to be tossing your ranged enmity at it, hopefully ensuring that you are not the highest, or that you are the second highest enmity. That way, if for whatever reason your main tank dies, it goes straight onto you, and you continue kiting it. If your main tank dies, all you need to do is turn on your tank stance and continue tossing ranged attacks. The way this is going to work is when the boss hits 70%, Minotaurs are going to appear. Then, you're going to pull your Minotaur to the outer edges of the arena and start walking clockwise with it. With your main tank, with your off tank. Around the time that you get to the quarter section, there will be yellow appearing. Everybody, when the yellow appears, you need to be in a cardinal direction. Because yellow means traps, and you don't want to accidentally have a trap spawn under you. The cardinal directions are the safe positions. So, everyone should be cardinal, including the tank and the off tank. Then, the off tank, after the traps go out, pop their invuln and pop the next, walk the next quarter circle ahead of the tank, clearing the path for them. The main tank follows after, and you continue to meet up with them. For the rest of the encounter, you're going to be walking your main tank, you're going to be walking your Minotaur with both tanks clockwise around the arena until it dies. Tanks on waymarks. If you understand what you're doing now, please jump. If you have any questions, please ask them. Void, do you have a question? You go north, for example. You're off tank north. So you're going to go north with your main tank, and you're going to have your tank stance off, tossing tomahawks at your Minotaur, making sure that hopefully your second aggro when if your main tank dies for whatever reason. And then you're going to kite your Minotaur clockwise. Around the time that you get to the first quarter circle, yellow is going to appear, and yellow signifies traps. As you are the off tank, you're going to pop invuln and move the next quarter circle, sweeping the trap for your main tank. And then you're going to meet back up with your main tank and continue walking clockwise until the end of the fight. So you're, like, if you're running, like, if you wait until the Minotaur gets there, and then you run clockwise, by about the time you get to the first quarter section, the yellow should be appearing. While the yellow is appearing, the Minotaurs will stop moving. So, because the Minotaurs are the ones casting the yellow. Does that answer your question? I mean, this is any prog. There's no better time to try and figure out what you're supposed to be doing than now. So just try your best. Do you at least have a basic understanding of what you need to be doing? Perfect. Okay. Everybody. As I said before, when the boss hits 70%, Minotaur ads are going to spawn. Ad phase is where 90%, if not more, of the deaths during this fight will occur. So, everyone except for the tanks are going to save their burst. We want to burst down these Minotaurs as fast as possible. Don't burn your actions unless you know you're going to replace them. But we want to save our burst and burn the Minotaurs down to kill them so that we have as little time as possible during ads phase. As I also said before, when yellow appears, you need to be in a cardinal direction out of the yellow. I will direct your attention to the tile sets. You can see, if you've paid close attention, that there are dark blue tile sets and an orange, and there's a lighter ring. This dark blue turns into a death wall, where this ring is going to be where we are going to be walking around. If you look even closer, you will see that there is a center ring. Inside the center ring, we are going to need dispellers and reflectors. Can I have 3 of each, please? I need 3 dispellers and 3 reflectors. 1 dispel, 1 reflect. I need 2 more of each. 2 reflect, 1 dispel. I need 2 more dispellers and 1 more reflector, please. 2 more dispellers and 1 more reflector, please. 2 dispels. I need 1 more of each, please. Can I have 1 dispeller and 1 more reflector, please? Okay. Okay, perfect. We have 3 dispels and 3 reflects. Inside that center ring, only our dispellers and reflectors are going to be there. What they are going to be doing is you are going to be dispelling any earth orbs that appear and then casting at them. Your dot, your glare, any sort of damage dealing spell, you need to deal 800 damage to it. You dispel it and you deal 800 damage to it. Reflectors, there are going to be fireball orbs that appear. You need to stand next to the fireballs, cast reflect, and reflect a fireball. Once again, dispellers. You dispel Earth Orb and cast at it. Fireballs need to be reflected. Stand next to it and cast Reflect. Everyone else, if you are not a Dispeller or Earth, yes, but if you auto-attack it, you're probably not going to kill it. As I said, you just need to deal 800 damage to it. Dispel plus 800 damage will kill it. It doesn't matter the damage type, it just needs to be dispelled and then 800 damage at it. Everyone else, if you are not a Dispeller or Reflector, you should be on this outer ring. Because this outer ring is where the Minotaurs are going to be walking around. If you look even closely earlier, you will notice that this outer ring has notches. These notches are going to be important, or if you look even closer at the rings, both inner and outer, you will have noticed that they have notches. These notches are important for resolving our push and pull mechanics. The boss is going to push or pull people. In Raid Chat 1, there is a diagram, as always, to help you figure it out. The boss is going to be giving you debuffs. You need to look at your debuff bar and figure out what debuff you have. If you have the push debuff, you need to get pushed out. If you have the pull debuff, you need to get pushed in. So, for example, if I have the pull debuff, I'm going to go to the outer notch. And the boss, just like his debuff shows, he is going to suck you in. And if I had the pull, or the push debuff, I'm going to stand on the inner notch. And the boss is going to thump me out. Hopefully the auditory examples have enhanced your understanding. And you now understand what you need to do for the push and pull mechanics. Does anyone have any questions? If you are ready, step in front of the purple line. This is not an enraged boss fight, so save your lost actions. Save your burst for the ads phase, which will appear at 70%. And once everyone is across the purple line, we will begin. Yes, what is your question? Do not be sorry for asking a question. There is nothing to be sorry about. You are asking a question that other people may have. You do not need to be sorry. You are entitled to ask a question. Yes, the Earth Orbs will have Stone Skin applied to them. You need to dispel that Stone Skin buff when they spawn. And then you need to deal damage to them. As far as we know, the Stone Skin buff has in excess of 1 million HP, and we have not been able to burst that buff down with a full rate of people casting upon it. So, it needs to be dispelled more or less. So we are waiting on Fauda, Delia, and Shinzi. Give Shinzi some dotes, maybe encourage him to come back. Gentle application of squishing love has been known to cause people to have sudden resuscitation, and acute awareness. After such an application, if you find that you have an erection lasting more than 4 hours, you might need to see a doctor. Absolutely only. Okay, 30 seconds on the board. Remember, save your burst, save your burst. The only people allowed to burst are the tanks. Get ready for knockback resist. Be near the boss. Knockback resist. Three cones. Dodge out of them. Far away, far away, far away, far away! 20 yalms, far away! Main tanks, get ready! Turn on your tank stance! Everyone, to positions! Kill the ads, kill the ads! Into cardinals! Do not be in yellow! Tanks, sweep! Check your debuff and resolve it! Into a notch to resolve your debuff! You need to be in a notch to resolve your debuff! In a notch, in a notch! Check your debuff. It will resolve in about 20 seconds. In a notch, in a notch. Resolve your debuff. Resolve your debuff. Back on the boss. Respect the fireball orb. Raid wide. Rapid bolts, multi-hitting AoE. Drop them and move. Far away, far away, far away! Back on the boss. Rapid bolts, multi-hitting AoE, drop it and move. Everyone else, stack up. Once again, drop it and move. Otherwise, stack up. We're baiting proximity. Back away, then get ready to gap close. Three thwacks. 1, 2, 3. Burn the boss. Tank Buster. 1 GCD afterwards. Knockback resist. 3 cones. 1, 2, 3. Do not run ahead, do not run ahead. We need to pick up dead bodies. If you've been dead on the ground and your timer is reaching under 60 seconds, let us know so we can sacrifice to pick you up, but I don't think Minotaurs went on for that long. I do not see any dead bodies, so make sure you get your loot, and we are headed forward. While you cross the pad, be sure to enjoy the most of important markers for this raid. These are the shitpost markers. They are certified to have increased our RNG. Every single one of them is placed pixel perfectly, so that the Queen RNG is set in our favor. Enjoy them, watch them, marvel at them. No, we are going to need Dispel for the Queen. Can I have 3 Gunbreakers or Paladins on 1, 2, 3, please? 3 Gunbreakers or Paladins on 1, 2, 3, please. I need a Gunbreaker or Paladin on each one of the places. I need 3 Dispellers on Delta. If you are on the... No, if you are a tank on the waymarks and you understand what you're doing, please jump. I've already counted for Aldous. Do either of you guys know what you're doing? If you do, jump. If not, that is perfectly fine. Okay. You guys are going to be the main tanks for the night. For the Queen, rather. During the Queen encounter, you're going to be alternating between who is the main tank. Aldous is going to start off as the main tank. And he is going to hold the boss until Cleansing Slash appears. When Cleansing Slash appears, he is going to invuln. The boss is then going to take 2 hits of him. And then he is going to drop Tank Stance. And Autumn, you are next up. After the second hit appears, you turn on Tank Stance and you Voke. You are going to then hold the boss until Cleansing Slash happens for you. Halfway through the cast bar, you invuln. You take 2 hits, then drop Tank Stance. Umbra then turns on Tank Stance and Vokes. Same as before, you're holding the boss until Cleansing Slash, Umbra. Halfway through the cleansing / cast bar, you invuln. 2 hits, you drop tank stance, and then Aldous turns his tank stance on, invokes, and you drop yours. This is because the Queen gives you some annoying debuffs that, because you are pure invuln tanks, you take a 0 from the hits, and therefore do not take anything from. So we abuse the fact that you have pure invuln to our advantage. If you understand what you're doing, please jump. Perfect. Dispellers! If you understand what you're doing, please jump. That is fine. I know only knows what he's doing. But either way, Dispellers! The boss is going to have an encounter bar. When it fills up, the boss is going to get 4 buffs. All of these buffs need to be dispelled. If someone needs a re-raiser, you can stand at the back. On the stairs. I've only got 2 to hand out. If anyone else has any to hand out. Okay, I don't think anyone else has any to hand out, unless someone says they do. Okay. Everyone, this boss has an encounter bar. When this encounter bar hits 100%, the boss is going to try and the encounter bar is going to make a ding, and it is going to, just like the microwave, try and cook food. Unfortunately for us, the food it's going to be cooking is us. So, what we're going to need to do is, when we hear that encounter bar ding, if you have brought light curtains, if you have reflect, you should use reflect or light curtains and stand on an orb and cast reflect. You can cast reflect the moment you hear the ding, and then you stand on a lightning orb. Sev, do you know what you're doing, or do you need explanations? I mean, we can wait. Reboot your computer and get back. We'll wait. Everyone wiggle around, don't get AFK kicked. 10-minute instance timer. Do you remember this? I will explain the light curtain in just a minute when Sev gets back. Was Sev the person disconnecting, or did you have another person disconnect? Yeah, that's fine. How do you hand out a re-raiser? Re-raisers are handed out via the Lost Re-raise action. Both reflect and light curtains are 10 seconds. So, if you pop the light curtain, when you hear the first ding, you can stand on an orb, and then you can pop another light curtain a few seconds later to stand multiple hits. But if you pop a light curtain the moment you hear the ding, you should be good for the orbs. For at least the first hit of the orb. We are waiting for Sev to get back. Yeah, we lost an hour only. Okay. As I was saying before, there is a boss encounter bar. When that encounter bar hits 100%, the boss is going to try and cook us. In the process of doing so, there are going to be lightning orbs spawning. If you have light curtains or reflects, this is what you've brought them for. You are going to stand on an orb and cast reflect, or cast reflect, then stand on an orb. You are going to reflect the orb until the orb dies. If you do not have reflect, you are going to find any tile without an orb and stand in the center of it. This will prevent you from getting clipped by any orbs attacking. All you need to do is find a tile without an orb, stand in the dead center of it. If you have reflect, stand on an orb, cast reflect. If you do not have reflect, find a tile without an orb, and stand there until things happen. It is during this time that dispellers do need to be dispelling. Up next, we are going to be mitigating every single raid wide. You have Aether Shield still. This is what they're there for. We're going to be Aether Shielding every single raid wide, just like we did with TA. As before, Aether Shield, raid wide, mitigate. And finally, we have Super Chess. In Super Chess, you are going to get two numbers in your debuff bar. You need to add those two numbers together to get a number of 5, 6, or 7. So, if I have, for example, a 3 and a 4, I add 3 plus 4, and I get a 7. I hope you know basic math. I am going to tell you what position to stand upon based off of that number. I am going to be saying something such as 6's in the corner, 7's on Delta, 5's on Bravo, or Alpha, 6's in the corner, 7's on Delta, 5's on Alpha. And you are going to be standing in those positions. So, if you have a 6, you stand in the corner. If you have a 7, you stand on Delta. And if you have a 5, you stand on Alpha. You're always going to be standing relative opposite of a marked square. So in this case, the marked square would have been north, and I'm telling you to stand towards the Delta side. So 6 is in the corner, 7's on Delta, 5's on Alpha. You're going to take your number and stand on that tile. You are then going to wait until a number above your head appears. When that number above your head appears, you are going to move that many tiles. I am also going to say something such as, we are moving down the Charlie column. You are going to move right until you hit that column, and then you are going to move towards the opposite end of the board. So for example, I was a 7. I start on Delta. I am going to start moving right until I hit the Charlie column. I move once. And then I had a 3 above my head to start with. I'm going to move right until I hit the Charlie column. I move once. Then I'm going to continue moving towards the opposite end of the board. Twice. And then 3 times. I don't know how fucking far I can get. When the number above my head disappears, I am going to stop moving. I am in the correct tile. If I have moved too far, I will get a big angry gash above my head. This big angry gash above my head means that I've screwed up. I've moved too far. The boss is going to smite me for my incompetency. And then I'm going to start moving backwards. So I start tracing my steps backwards, 1 tile at a time, until the gash above my head disappears and I have nothing above my head anymore. Once you're in that tile, you will stop. The boss is going to put a check mark above your head if you did it correctly, or a X above your head if you did it incorrectly. And then you're going to be released once again. During the second movement, no matter what, you need to move until you hit the safe spot, even if it is the incorrect number of squares. If you die outside the safe spot, the boss will immediately follow it up again and smite you through Transcendence. You will die if you are not in the safe spot. So, no matter what, end in the safe spot. Yes, wiggle around, don't get AFK kicked. So, no matter what, end in the safe spot. Quick recap. You add your numbers together, I tell you where to stand. You move right until the column that I tell you we're moving to, and then you move towards the opposite end of the arena. You move the number of tiles above your head and then stop. After that, you wait until the check mark above your head appears, and then you move to the safe spot. You always end in the safe spot. That is how Super Chess will go. Are there any questions? Okay. If you are ready, step across the purple line, and we will begin. Throughout the fight, there are going to be Queensguard mechanics happening again, so pay attention. There are show your hole mechanics. There is a show your hole mechanic in the fight. I will call it out when it happens. Listen for callouts as it happens. "30 seconds on the..." Wait, no. We've got Ada. This is an enraged fight. This is the enraged fight. We need to kill the boss before she kills us. Food, lost actions, potions, everything. We want her to die. 30 seconds on the board, if you will, out us. If you're not Aldous, your tank stance should be off. Man, I wish this was 2.0, 3.0, when summons still had when summons could still tank, but unfortunately it is not. I'm sorry, Titan Eggy cannot solo for us. Open up. Raid wide, Aether Shield, mitigate. Murder chest. Pawn pieces are going to move onto the board. They're going to do plus signs. Do not stand in those plus signs. They will move the number of tiles indicated. When tethered, try and find it yourself or stand on me, I guess. I make no guarantees. We're moving towards the one side. We're moving towards the one side. Back on the boss. Cleansing Slash. Main tank 2, get ready. 1. 2, Voke. Raid wide, Aether Shield, mitigate. We have Super Chest 1! Remember, add them together, listen for callouts. Wall, safe, back, safe. 6s in the corner, 7s on 3, 5s on. 5s on 1, 6 in the corner, 7s on 3, 5s on 1, 6 in the corner, 7s on 3, 5s on 1, 6 in the corner, 7s on 3, 5s on 1. We're moving down the 4 column. If you have a gash, step back. End in the safe square, end in the safe square. The very, very obvious safe square. Be sure to end here. Get ready for a big reopener. Big reopener. Aether Shield, raid wide, mitigate. Boss's encounter bar is about to ding. Get ready. Remember, if you're not reflecting any tile without an orb in the center of it. Reflect is a GCD action. Reflectors, reflect. Dispellers, dispel. In a bubble, in a bubble, in a bubble. Be in a bubble. We have Relentless Play 1. This is a Mustadio mechanic. Show your hole to 1 first, then the wall. Tethers to wind, non-tethers to lightning. Hole to 1, tethers to wind, non-tethers to lightning. We are headed towards the 1 side again. Tethers to wind, non-tethers to lightning. Show hole towards 1, or towards the numbers. Wall. Back on the boss. Cleansing Slash 2, invuln now. 1. 2, tank 3, pick it up. Relentless play 2, full downtime mechanic. We're getting knocked back. Listen for callouts. Look at the circle. Full downtime mechanic. No buffs. We're getting knocked towards A. Towards A. Back towards the center. We're going towards Bravo. Bravo. In this corner at Delta. Delta, Delta, Delta. Back on the boss. Big reopener. Aether Shield. Raid wide. Mitigate. Super Chest 2! Safe! Wall safe! 6 is in the corner, 7's on Delta! 5's on! 5's on A! 6 in the corner, 7's on Delta! 5's on A! 6 in the corner, 7's on Delta! 5's on A! We're walking down the Charlie column. End in the safe square! End in the safe square! Healers, get ready to healer LB3 when we get back! Reopener! Cleansing slash 2! Stack up! Stack up! Tank 1, pick it up! We're baiting! We're baiting! Stack up! Stack up! We're baiting! We are baiting Sword Omen! We are being on the side far away from the French fry! On the side far away from the... without the French fry! We're headed back! South! Normal mode turrets! Avoid them! Reflectors! Reflect! If you're not reflecting, out of an orb tile! Dispel! In a bubble! In a bubble! Up next! Relentless Play 4! This is a knockback! Bombs! Icy Fire Important! You're going to push Raid Wide, Aether Shield, Mitigate! You are going to push Knockback Resist on my call! Stand on a bomb that matches your thing! And then you're going to solve Icy or Fiery Portent! Tethers to small, non-tethers to big! Tethers to small, non-tethers to big! Or kill it. Very good. Pick up our dead bodies. Congratulations to everyone who cleared. Do I always get... Oh, yes. So, when you kill the queen, you get 2 things automatically from the loot chest. You get a minion, and you get a full piece of gear. randomly from one of the 5 slots on the left-hand side. Your mount will be in your achievements menu. We can have pictures in the back. Oh. We'll take pictures for another minute or so. Congratulations to everyone. After this, there will be a ceremonial dog walk on Fairy Domain Enclave if you wish to join. Okay. Oh, baby. 20 nuclears. If you wish to join the ceremonial dog walk, it will be on Fairy Domain Enclave. You can grab your Cerberus out of your achievement mounts. For the people who know, you know where to go. We'll wait a few more minutes for people to gather. Three hand pieces in a row. Oof. Look at all these new Cerberuses. There's 20 of them new in the world. Okay, we'll give it one more minute for people to congregate. Yeah, 20 new people. I posted the screenshot in Raid Chat 1. Fairy Doman Enclave. Yeah, I will be on Argos. Gotta lead we gotta have the dogs chase, or I guess I could be on Ozma. We will have people coming in. Okay. Is anyone still on the way? Okay then. If you will put on RP walk. Yeah, it's I don't know what the hell it is by default. I have mine on page break. The dogs can chase the ball. And we're gonna walk our dog around. Congratulations, Mallory. Mistralis. Dave Strider. Delilah Dore. Your Thumb. Viria Atlas. Void Rainer. And Henri Vivi. I don't know if I've missed anyone. Thank you all for coming. Bring it in. Dogpile. Thank you all for coming to the raid. These raids wouldn't be possible without you guys showing up. It's been almost 4 hours since congregation time. I know it's a lot of time to schedule, but these runs wouldn't be possible without you guys showing up, giving up that time to do a large man raid, committing to such a long time. There is a minimum entry requirement, and the more people that show up always makes it better. So without you guys all showing up, I wouldn't be able to run my favorite piece of content. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you for entrusting me with your time. I hope you had a good time. You're always welcome back. I hope you stick around. And I hope I made it worth your while. There are runs throughout the week on Lego Steppers and potentially other people hosting. You can definitely bet that if Dawn Trail has such a foray as this, I will be there. So thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you all around. You're always welcome back, and hopefully you enjoyed yourself. I am going to go make dinner. Well, probably just going to make some grilled ham and cheese. And thank you for coming.